Okay, some more problems from the Chapter 5 practice test, and this is number 11. If you read over here, it says use the graph of the integrand and areas to evaluate the integral. Draw a sketch and show your work. Do not use your calculator or antiderivatives to evaluate the integral, only areas. So we're going to use areas to evaluate this integral. This is going to be from a to a squared of 4x dx, and that's on your paper, and a is going to be greater than 1. So we graph this line y equals 4x. Now this is kind of not to scale because it would be much steeper. So we can say we have different scales on our x and y axis to justify that. So any point on this line, the y coordinate will be 4 times the x coordinate. Now, since a is greater than 1, a squared will be to the right of a. A squared will be greater than a. So I can put a and a squared here. And this is my line, so I'm going to be looking for this area between a and a squared underneath this line. Now it looks like we have a trapezoid here. And if this is a, the coordinate of this point will be a 4a, the y coordinate will be 4a, and if this a squared, the coordinate of this point will be 4a squared. Okay, these are my coordinates, a 4a, I'm sorry, a squared 4a squared. Okay, so if this is a, the coordinate of the point will be a 4a. If this is a squared, the coordinate of this point will be a squared 4a squared. Now the y coordinate is actually giving me the height of this segment, or the length of the segment. So the y coordinate here is 4a, so the length of the segment is 4a. The length of this segment is 4a squared, since the y coordinate is 4a squared. So I'm trying to find my bases of my trapezoid. Remember, the bases or the parallel sides. These are the parallel sides. We can use little arrows like we did in geometry to indicate that they are the parallel sides. Okay. And those are the bases. And then this will be the height of my trapezoid. You'd have to turn it 90 degrees to see that, but this would be a right angle, so this would be the height of the trapezoid. And the length of this segment is going to be a squared minus a. That will give me what's left. So a squared minus a is the height. So the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. Or you could write it like height times base 1 plus height times 1/2 base 1 plus base 2. That's the way I wrote it here. The height is a squared minus a, 1/2. And base 1 is, well, I use the 4a squared, and base 2 is 4a. So those are my two bases. And what I did was I brought if I take the 4 out, I have 1/2 of 4. To both these 4's becomes 2, so I move that 2 in front, and I had a squared minus a and another a squared plus a, if I factored that out. And then a squared minus a times a squared plus a, that's just the sum and difference, so that's going to be a to the 4th minus a squared. And that's going to be times 2. And we could even simplify it more by taking an a squared out, so we have 2a squared and times a squared minus 1. So that would be the most simplified form, I think. And then number 12, we wanted to evaluate this integral from 3 to 6 of 2x minus 7 dx. So we're going to, again, use the antiderivative. So this is going to be f, capital F of x, the antiderivative. If this is f of x, dx. There's my antiderivative. In other words, add 1. We're using the power rule. Add 1 to the x. You get x squared over x squared and divide by that 2. So we get 2x squared over 2. So that just becomes x squared if I add, and then just 7x, add an x to that. And then this is going to be my f of b minus f of a. So there's your integral evaluation theorem, or the second part of the fundamental theorem of calculus. Now f of b, I will put 6 here, so it's going to be 6 squared minus 7 times 6, and then minus, this negative is from the f of b minus f of a. And then I'm going to have 3 squared minus 7 times 3. So 6 squared is 36 minus 42, that's going to be negative 6. 3 squared is 9 minus 21 is negative 12. So negative 6, negative 12 is the same thing as negative 6 plus 12, which is 6. That's all you had to do. evaluate that using f of b minus f of a. All right? So I hope those help. And again, if anything isn't clear, just email me and I'll maybe try to do a little bit more detail on this, but I hope everything's okay.